What is up, YouTube? Zen Rahman. In today's video, I'll be talking about the only two things that you need to do to lose weight or to lose body fat. And I'm not a nutritionist or dietitian or fitness trainer. Yeah, I just made a body transformation, learning and studying about fitness and health and nutrition and all these things. So I know what I'm talking about, but that's no reason for you to believe what I say. Believe whatever you want. Okay, so these two things that I will talk about are the most fundamental things you need to do if your goal is to lose weight, to lose body fat. Okay, and whatever else you do on top of this, apple cider vinegar and fasting and whatever. If you're not doing these two things right, then you're not really losing weight. So that's how that is. And I've repeatedly talked about this fact in my videos that losing weight is calories in, calories out. Okay, so the amount of calories that you intake or you eat, they have to be lesser than what your calorie expenditure is. So you're burning more calories than you're consuming, and this is how you develop a calorie deficit. And because of this calorie deficit, your body pulls the extra energy that it needs for maintenance from the energy in your fat cells. So that is what essentially weight loss or fat loss is. And what you need to do to make sure that you're in a calorie deficit and you're consuming less calories than you're burning um, is to just eat less calories than you're burning. Okay, so the calories in, calories out equation. Okay, the calories out always has to be greater than the calories in. Okay, so like I've said, burn more calories than you're eating if you're trying to lose weight. So there's two things that you can do so that you have a significant amount of difference between the amount of calories that you're burning and the amount of calories that you intake. So the first thing that you can do is to create a calorie deficit with the food that you're having. Okay, so that is something that you have to do, of course. Okay, without being in a calorie deficit, you don't really lose weight. So what you can do is monitor the amount that you're eating. Okay, consider the amount of food that you're eating and how you're progressing with that. Okay, so if you're eating a certain amount of food and then gaining weight, then start taking away from it. Okay, gradually. Okay, so don't crash into a 500 calorie deficit or whatever on day one. Okay, start small, start with a 100 calorie, 200 calorie deficit. Take out foods from here and there. Primarily, you would want these to be carbohydrates because they are the most readily available energy source that we consume. Okay, so start tapering away the carbohydrates. Okay, the fats not so much. Okay, try and take away more of the carbohydrates because fats are responsible for your hormonal balance and the functioning of your brain and a lot of essential functions in the body. So you do want to have some fats and also just so that they slow your metabolism down a little bit and you're not going through your food too fast and then feeling hungry. So start taking away the carbohydrates, take away the calories and do this at a progressive rate. Okay, so like I said, don't go into a big deficit on day one. Okay, take away a few calories and analyze how you're progressing with those calories. Okay, so say you're in a 200 calorie deficit and then you're continuing to lose weight for a good amount of time. Okay, so keep doing that. Okay, keep eating that way because you want to be eating enough to not feel too hungry and to be able to train hard. Okay, and then when you feel like you've reached a plateau, like you're not losing weight anymore, that is when you need to take the calories further lower. Okay, so once you hit a plateau, cut down on the calories a little more and analyze what your progress looks like. Okay, you can keep track of your weight on a scale, all right, but I don't think it's always the best idea because it can be a little misleading. Okay, because you might be gaining weight and losing. I mean, you might be gaining muscle and losing body fat. Muscle is denser than fat, so maybe you're losing the same amount of muscle and fat in weight. Okay, so in that case, your scale it won't move. It would be at the same spot, and that might make you feel demoralized or like you're not progressing. Okay, so if you want the best idea about the kind of progress that you're making, then keep looking at yourself in the mirror. Like I've said before, the mirror is the best scale. So the mirror is really what gives you the best idea about how you're progressing. Okay, like I said, you could be gaining weight in terms of muscle and might be dropping weight by losing body fat. So you can't really judge accurately from the scale where you are, but it is a good idea to keep track of what you weigh so that you have a better idea about what works for your body and how your body is progressing, eating, and functioning in a certain way. Okay, so like I said, that's the first thing that you can do is to take away calories from your diet slowly, and this way you give yourself enough room for progression to lose the body fat that you want to lose. Okay, the second thing that you can do is to increase your calorie expenditure. Okay, so increase the amount of calories that you're burning so that this gives you more of a deficit. And what would allow you to do this? Well, just working more. Okay, so primarily what I would want you to do is to do more cardio. Okay, whatever form of cardio you enjoy doing. But if you want to hold on to some muscle, try and not do more than a 45-minute cardio session. Okay, and of course you'd want to take other precautions to preserve muscle, but uh, in most general cases, your goal should not be to lose muscle. Okay, I've talked about the benefits of lean muscle in one of my earlier videos. I'll add it to the end screen to this video so you have an idea about why you should hold on to some lean muscle. And like I said, to increase your calorie expenditure, I would primarily want you to do more cardio. So even with your cardio, okay, be a little um, gradual and progressive with it. Okay, so don't add 30 minutes of cardio on day one. Okay, do an extra 5 minutes or 10 minutes and then analyze whatever you're doing overall and see how it's working, see how you're progressing. And if it works, then keep doing it for as long as you don't hit a plateau. And when you feel like you're plateauing again, then you can increase this cardio or this calorie expenditure furthermore. Okay, so don't go into drastic deficits or integrate drastic amounts of exercise increase in your exercise that are too dramatic or too drastic. Okay, and be a little more progressive and gradual and patient with your fitness journey. Okay, but primarily the things you need to do, the two things that you need to do which are fundamental to weight loss or fat loss, is to decrease your calorie intake and increase your calorie expenditure and to go about it in a smart and gradual way. Okay, and before you keep your calories lower, okay, before you take away further calories from your diet, what you would want to do is to increase your calorie expenditure first. Okay, so first try and add some more cardio, okay, or more duration to your exercise, or however you think you can add to your overall calorie expenditure. Okay, and once you've done that and you've been progressing for some time, then take away the calories. Okay, and don't take away too many calories at once. Like I said, go into your deficits gradually. So start off with a 100 or 200 calorie deficit and see how you're progressing with that. And when you feel like you're plateauing, start taking away further calories. Prim- Primarily, these would need to be from carbohydrates. Okay, so try and keep your fats and protein constant and modulate your carbohydrates around. And another thing that you can do to beat your plateaus is to increase your calorie expenditure, do more cardio, exercise more, and also be smart about how you're exercising and what you're doing, and stay compliant with your plan. Okay, so whatever other factors you want to consider, genetics and hormones. Okay, if you're getting these two things right, your calorie intake and your calorie expenditure, and if you're progressing with these in the way that you need to continue to lose weight, it would work for everyone. Okay, because no matter what your hormonal balance is like or whatever your genetics is like, at the end of the day, you need more food to store more body fat. Okay, so you can't really get fat without eating in a calorie surplus. Okay, even if your hormones are all over the place, if you eat in a calorie deficit, you won't be gaining weight. And when you're gaining weight or whatever it is because you're eating more than you need to. All these other factors, the genetics and hormones and everything else that people want to make excuses out of, okay, they are either affecting your calories in or calories out amount. Okay, so suppose your hormones are not where you want them to be, then you need to eat in more of a deficit. Okay, so as long as you're in a deficit compared to what your maintenance calories are, you would be losing weight. Okay, there's no two ways about it, and calories, fat, whatever, it's all energy, and energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be converted from one form to another. You can't change the laws of thermodynamics. So stop making your excuses and stop being a pussy and take your calories lower in a smart way or increase on your calorie expenditure. Okay, and eventually you would be losing weight, and keep track of your progress and be honest with yourself, look in the mirror, and yeah, as long as you're doing things progressively and smartly, and you're maintaining a calorie deficit, you'll be losing weight. So that's what I had to say about the two most fundamental things that you need to do, and probably the only things that you need to do. Okay, if you're doing these two things in the right way, okay, and in a smart way, then you don't need any fat burners or fasting or anything like that. End of the day, losing weight is calories in, calories out. You need to be in a calorie deficit, and you can increase your deficit by taking away your calories or increasing your calorie expenditure. So that's what I had to say. I hope you learned something from the video. Let me know what you thought in the comments. Like and share, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.